So we've got a brand new series for you. I'm going to be coming to you every month with a bit of a rundown of what's been happening, where I've been going, what I've been doing, and more importantly, the fishing lessons that I've learned over that time. Starting with January, a bit rough really, to be honest. Not an easy month to start with because it really has been a poor start to the year weather-wise, as we all know. Hilariously, the first match I went on this year, Frankie picked me up for the winter pairs. Just like open my garage door, snow everywhere. Couldn't believe it really. It's just, obviously when you get like those downpours of snow, or you get times when the water's frozen, and then it melts in, it's really tricky. And I've been going to Hallcroft, I take part in the feeder pairs, which I fish with Will Freeman, who's a fantastic angler, part of the Drennan England feeder team. And we've had a really great time. I think the pair's been running maybe 6-7 years now, maybe longer. And Will and myself have been in the top three almost every single year. And then last year we just fell away, and we had a few poor draws, and I was really looking forward to this year. I was thinking we can come back here, we can get back at the top of this competition. And I've just experienced one of those winters where it's been really tough. I mean, the venue's 3 hours for Will or more, and he drives all the way up, and he's been the same as me. We've been in the poorest areas every single week. The league's done on weight, and our last match, which was literally the latest match before filming this, I caught 3 pound, 3 skimmers, and Will blanked. So if you've been going out and it's been poor, it's not just you. These things can happen. I've sort of like really enjoyed my winter fishing for 10-15 years, and this winter's just been the first time where it's just affected me a little bit in terms of, you know, the float hasn't been going under, the tip hasn't been going around. There's been lots of poor areas, and I've been going to Hallcroft mainly, you know, and maybe I should branch out, maybe I should change a little bit on the venues that I go to. But I think a lot of venues have been the same, and I think a lot of them have been affected by, you know, a lot of rain and cold weather, and just every year it's a little bit different. One of the big issues that I really do think needs highlighting, because I think it's a terrible problem, is the cormorants. I mean, Hallcroft gets hammered, absolutely hammered by cormorants, as does every, you know, venue that I've been going to. It's really difficult to control. You imagine there's people living on site, you know, getting licenses, doing all those things. It's really, really difficult. But I've been there, and I know other people have been there, where we've seen up to 12, 15 birds on the water taking the fish. So it's a real issue, and you know, it's not just the fish that they take when it comes to cormorants as well. It's actually the fear that they put into the fish. So the fish shoal up really tightly, and then they just don't want to feed. And I think that actually plays a bigger part than the loss of the fish. But at the same time, we can see those sort of stamper fish, and where I've been drawing, that's the problem. There just hasn't been any of the smaller fish there to catch. There's been no bites to be had. You know, I had a blank 1 week. I've had a 3 pound. I've had a 9 pound, which was only 7 fish. So it's not exactly lots of fish. Whereas at other days, you see people catching 15, maybe 20 pound. They'll have 100 fish in their net just on the other side of the lake. And it just seems to be that obviously with a bit of predation and that, they get moved around. So, you know, that's something that's been quite on my mind at the moment, and it's worth talking about. I don't think we should hide away from it, because a lot of venues are having these birds come down and affecting them. And I think, you know, the more vocal we can be about it, and hopefully in certain places actions taken, because it is a big issue, unfortunately. And as anglers, we enjoy catching the fish, and obviously for the ecosystems as well of these places, I suppose it's not great on some of the natural venues as well. I mean, I'm not an expert in it, don't ever pretend to be, just a shame really. And I feel like that's affected it a lot this year. Hopefully we'll see that change in the future. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more control, you know, to maybe keep the fish stock safe, but who knows. I mean, the leagues I take part on are incredible. The teams of 4 league, I actually fished with Catchmore Media this year, which is myself, Matt Godfrey, James Dent and Tom Scully. And those lads usually fish with Andy Geldart, and they've won the league 4, 5, 6, 7 years on the bounce. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible performances. I've always fished like 2 or 3, just covering for Andy or whoever when they're away. This year, Andy said, do I want to step in? So I've stepped in, and I tell you what, it's been tough. Can you believe it? It's been tough for us all. We're doing okay in the league. We're sort of sitting just behind the leaders. North Notts are winning the league. They've had a really good league to date at the halfway point. So we're halfway there, but there's a long way to go. It's a league of 10 matches, and your best 8 results count. So we've had 2 fantastic rounds. We've had 2 really poor rounds where we threw the ice. But to put it in perspective, I've been last one time in the bowl of Moat. James Dent, who's got 3 section wins, has also been last with a blank. Matt's had the same thing when he's come last, and Tom had it as well. So all 4 of us have had at least 1 last place in our sections, and that again, it just goes to show how the fishing is and how there's plenty of good anglers out there that will catch the fish if you can't. So again, if it's something that you've been doing, don't worry about it too much if it's not going your way, because it's easy to not go your way. Obviously, I've had some fantastic news this month, and the news is out there, something that I'm super proud of. I will be jointly managing the England float fishing team with Mark Downs for 2026. That is a huge honour for me. You know, growing up, Dick Clegg was the manager of England. Mark then took it over with Mark Addy in 2001. And Steve Saunders came in a little bit doing joint management for a couple of years as well in that period. So, you know, with Mark being the mainstay there, Mark Downs, and Dick being the mainstay before, it's not an opportunity that comes up very often. And it's something that I'm really passionate about. I think you guys probably know by now, international fishing really does drive me. And I really enjoyed going out to Bosnia last year with the lads, seeing how they're getting on, seeing what they're doing. There's some fantastic anglers in this country. And I really do believe that we can go on and achieve some great things. It's not maybe what it was 25, 30 years ago when there was sort of 3, 4, 5 strong teams. Now the teams are incredible. There is 5 or 6 teams that are ridiculously good, and then just behind them you've got another 5 or 6 teams that have all won the world championships in recent times. So it shows the standard. It's a bit like Premier League football. The top 3 or 4 might be fantastic, but then all the other teams can beat them as well, and that is what is happening on the world stage. When you get 30 countries there, a lot of those countries can't just do well, they can win the event. So we're going to have to be really on our game. I'm looking to help the lads continue with their incredible professionalism and continue with a lot of things and bring the emphasis back to international fishing. You know, as far as I'm concerned, international fishing is the pinnacle of match fishing, and I really would love to see the float team flag flying high. I would love to see the support and the messages that we got when the announcement was there about the joint manager. I have never seen such engagement, such a response, such positivity. Thank you so much for that, because it didn't just motivate me and really excite me for the role that's going forward. Boy, did it involve, the guys were really into it as well. They really love the fact that there's a new energy there and everything towards what they're doing. They work so hard. It is about those anglers on the box. They work so hard, and I really, really want to try to help them along with Mark this year to try and get some medals. Hopefully we can do it, and I'm sure the England float team is going to have a really exciting future. So thanks for all the support on that. That was my really exciting news for the month, and it allowed me to get started, get into it, get things going, which I love doing as well. You know, at the start of the year, you know, we hold a Barnsley Blacks meeting, Drennan Barnsley Blacks, where we plan out all the year. We talk about new anglers, and things will always come out with that. We've made a couple of fantastic signings, which will be announced real soon. Very excited about that. So it's not always about the fishing. Sometimes you get to do some of these really exciting things. And on top of that, I've done some great podcasts with Preston Innovations talking about the, talking with some fantastic anglers. I'm not going to give them away just yet, but we've done this 3 now in the bank. If you enjoyed the one over Christmas, I think you'll enjoy those too. So some really cool stuff happening, some really exciting times happening. And of course, the Edge Live matches have been going out, and Rob and I have been planning exactly what we can do for 2026, because you guys have been really enjoying the content. We like to mix it up. We don't just like to do one thing. We like to try and make it really diverse. We've had some incredible stuff. Andy Powell was on the live match. If you haven't seen that, where he takes it apart, he absolutely takes it apart. He fishes with meat, he shows his tactics, he shows his decision making. For me, I hold Andy as one of the top commercial anglers in the country. He's a great all-round angler, but a credit to him that he can compete in everything and commercial fishing. So he's going to be incredible. Again, we're going to get out with Andy this year. Rob's been on some live matches, so we obviously went on the Trent. We've also now just done the bomb and feeder one at Lindome, which wasn't as smooth going, but it was really interesting to look at the decision making. And myself, Frankie Giannicelli, we had some great results on live matches. So that is just some of the live match content that has happened. We've already been out and filmed 2 really great videos that will be coming soon, looking at more detailed stuff. Just to break it back down again, looking at the detail. Got an incredible one on method feeder fishing. Literally learnt more in a day about method feeder fishing than I have in the last 2 or 3 years. It was a fantastic day out. So look out for that one. That's going to be coming out around about the 20th of February, I believe. So that's something to look out for next month. So as you can see, even though the fishing's not been great, it's been a busy time. There's been lots going on. And one thing that I always want to touch on is, the positivity around match fishing and why we go match fishing, the atmosphere on these matches. Where I've been going to Hallcroft, there is a great atmosphere. Everyone coming back for the results, everyone having a drink there afterwards, talking about their woes or successes. And it's something that I think match fishing really needs to remember. The camaraderie that goes on, the togetherness that goes on, seeing people, backing people, and seeing that environment in match fishing. This time of the year, when it's a bit cold, it's a bit wet, and it's all a bit rough, that is a really, really key element for me. So that is one of the things that I wanted to touch on how great that's been, even though results haven't quite been going as smoothly as I hoped they might do. One thing I want to finish on, and this is, I want to give you a top piece of angling advice every single month. And this is what I have learned this month. This is what I believe has been a really great learning edge for me. And just a reminder, I'm going to say, because I've had a couple of key matches where I've caught some bonus fish. Caught a great big roach one day to get the better over me old mate Frankie when I drew an next peg to him and the teams of 4. Get in there, travelled with Frankie, travel all that way, 72 anglers, draw next to him. He's got to try and beat me, hasn't he? Pressure's on him. But fortunately, I got the edge on that day with the help of 2 really big bonus fish. I've been in some really tough areas and I've caught some decent stamp fish. Did the same again literally yesterday. Caught some stamp fish on the pole when there was hardly any caught. And one of my real big edges for that is not forgetting at this time of year how incredibly light you can drop with your hooks and line, okay? Because I think I was guilty of some fantastic fishing and getting carried away with what I perceived as light hooks and line. So I was using like 18 SFLs to 010 and things like that. A nice fine hook, nice and light, that seems nice. When I changed to 08 and a 20 XFS, it was ridiculous. And I mean ridiculous. I went from no bites to getting those bonus fish. And when the water is so cold, if you've got super light elastic or a super soft rod, you won't get broken by these bonus fish. £3 bream, £2 perch, £1.5 roach. They make such a difference when it comes to the weigh-in. So if you're fishing matches and the water is ice cold, push the limits of how light you can go. If you're carp fishing, drop that elastic down. 09, 010 and 18s, you will land those fish. Take your time, you will get them out. All right, I've had 2 massive carp on 012 hook lengths on a rod and line feeder fishing, and I mean massive, like 15 pounders to an 18. I usually use 012 when I'm carping on a rod, but the soft super light rod, you can't pull it hard enough to break your line. So provided you've got your back wind or your clutch when you need it, the bend on your rod, the lunges, it won't break your line. Drop light this time of year, that will catch you more fish. So look forward to this every month. Hopefully there'll be some on the bank footage as well coming with these, where I'm out there on the bank and you can see exactly what I'm doing. When the matches liven up, I've got some great stuff coming up in February. Winter League final where we'll be going for it with Barnsley. Love going down to the drains for those times. I'll have a couple of more Hallcroft matches, but the focus will be on the drains. There'll be loads of footage and the inside scoop on whether Barnsley can retain their Winter League title. So thanks everybody for watching, and I will catch you with the Diary of an Angler next month.
For the most in-depth videos about fishing on the internet, you can become a member at www.anglingedge.co.uk. Sign up today, you get all the new videos and access to all the past videos as well. And you're in luck. You can go on YouTube, The Edge YouTube channel, and now if you love watching your content on YouTube, you can become a member on YouTube instead and watch all the videos from the past and going forward, the best fishing videos on the internet.